Well, good day, everyone. I hope all of you all are well. It's Dr. Michelle Lloyd, and we are going to talk about a topic that I'm uncertain if any of us want to admit to it. I'm uncertain if any of us want to admit to it, but yes, it is helicoptering mothers and helicoptering fathers, but nonetheless, we're mothers. And so let's just dive in and talk about that today. Many of you already know that helicoptering, as it pertains to our teens, that is a style of parenting where parents are overly involved. It just makes me feel better to say parents as opposed to mothers, but it's when we're overly involved in our teens' lives to the point where we're hovering over their activities, events, their gatherings like helicopters. And the aim of helicoptering parents is that we are looking to protect our teen, and we're looking to just make sure that no harm comes near them, and we're wanting to make sure that they do not fail. And so when it comes to helicoptering moms, we have to, just think about, are we doing more harm than helping, or are we doing more helping than harming? So listen, let's talk just a little bit about the causes of helicoptering, and then we'll talk a little bit about the effects, and then let's just dive in after that to just identify how can we break this helicoptering that we do, or that we've done in the past, or that we may even begin to do unconsciously. So when we talk about the causes of helicoptering, that can come from us just simply being fearful. A number of us, whether we've gone to college or whether we have not, we know what is out here in this world. And when we think about some of the experiences that we've had, and then we think about our teens, and our teens are leaving the home for the first time, then that can cause fear. And so that is one of the causes of course, helicoptering. Also, it could be that, we may have issues ourselves with anxiety. And you know what? When I think about, and I've also, of course, done a recording on this as well, that having anxiety, that's normal. It's normal because things happen in life and it can cause us anxiety. However, there are different levels of anxiety, different levels, and there are different severities of anxiety, and that can be an issue, that can be a challenge, that can be a problem. But simple anxiety, again, that's normal because things cause us to feel a certain way in life, and it causes us to have a level of emotions, and again, it can be normal. But by all intents and purposes, there can be elevated levels as well that may need to be diagnosed, or whereas we may need to see a therapist or something along those lines. But in the event we have anxiety beyond the normal level of anxiety, then that can be a reason for us, or a cause, if you will, in reference to us helicoptering. And so when I think about that, I think about, of course, in 2016 when we took our oldest daughter to the campus of Virginia Tech and dropped her off, and I came back, and it lasted, maybe for, hours, or even possibly 2 or 3 days. That just not knowing, and just knowing what can happen on a college campus or the surrounding area, that can cause a mother or a father to have anxiety. And so, or anxiety, yes, anxiety. So that's another reason that individuals may perform some type of helicoptering or hovering. Also, if in fact a person is a mother or a father is trying to, even find their own identity, that can be a reason to helicopter. And let me clarify that, and let me explain that just a little bit. Say, for instance, a parent, they're uncertain of who they are. So because they're uncertain of who they are, what they do is they live vicariously through their teen. And in order to perfect, if you will, whoever this parent is wanting to be because they're unaware of who they are. Then there could be the hovering because they're constantly trying to critique their teen into being whoever it is that the parent may have in their mind, whoever they're picturing. So if a parent is not clear or does not know who they are, and they're living vicariously through their teen, then that could warrant helicoptering and the constant correcting and the constant perfecting and the ongoing critiquing of their teen's behavior. That can cause it. That can cause helicoptering. And so those are some of the causes of helicoptering. So let's just talk just a little bit about just its effect. Because if we're helicoptering, then whereas we think it may be helping, it could cause our teen, if you will, to experience a certain level of depression. It could cause our teen to take on feelings of anxiety because the hovering makes them feel as though they're not good enough. And then if that continues, then of course later on down the line you'll see it in your teen's behavior. So when we talk about if that hovering is more harmful or helpful, really the needle leans more along the side of harmful because our teens, whether we even say or articulate our thoughts while we're hovering, teens can feel that. So what can we do to break the helicoptering habit? The first thing we could do is we can support our teens in whatever it is that they're doing. Of course, productive and constructive and positive, but we can support them. So whatever it is, whether it's home at something in the under the umbrella of academia, if it's maybe a hobby, maybe a skill that they're looking to improve, maybe it's test taking, whatever it is, then we can support that growth, of course, by listening to them and not necessarily pushing forward our agenda when it comes to them doing whatever it is that they're doing. Then also another way that we can avoid hovering is if we avoid doing whatever it is we see that our teen needs to do. What we do sometimes is we jump in and we do it for them. So if we avoid that, then of course that and fall back, if you will, then that could be us breaking that helicoptering. And then for those of you, and we're on a few different social media sites, and so if you have any ideas in reference to how you've discontinued helicoptering, then that could be helpful for the rest of our audience. Another way that we can, of course, help ourselves to discontinue helicoptering is if we allow our teens, and this is a challenging one, if we allow our teens to experience the consequences of some of their decision making. See, I told you all that this would be a challenging one, because do we want to see that, and do we want to experience that ourselves, watching our teens handle a consequence of a decision they've made? Absolutely not. And so, but that is a good way to avoid helicoptering and to fall back, is to allow our teens to experience the consequences that have come their way because of decisions they've made. And so though these are causes, of course, a couple of effects there and what it does to our teen when we hover too closely. And then also talk just a little bit about how we as mothers, how we can break that helicoptering, just so that our teens are able to move forward and live productive lives. And so listen, that's a wrap, of course, for our live on today. And also, there is a gentleman who helps helps families as it pertains to college admissions for their teens. I'd like to, and I'm going to go ahead and drop a poll, or ask our team to drop a poll in our in our Facebook group. And I'm coming down with a cold. Y'all are probably able to hear it, and I'm just trying to catch my breath while I'm talking. But I'm going to drop a poll to see if this is something that you all would like to hear. How to go about applying for colleges, because you all are in that stage of applying for colleges, many of you all. And if that's the case, if y'all choose, absolutely we'd like to hear from him. Then of course I will ask Robert Powell to come into our group and to talk about, of course, just different ways to apply for colleges, and then some information on colleges themselves. He'll be able to bring that as well. So listen, that's a wrap for now. Thank you all so very much for being here. I appreciate you. I love you tons. And until next time, take care and be safe.